Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bricks Top Live Show. I'm your host, Jason, and of course, we have Jim in the house as well. Retro Space Coats, how you doing, man?
All good, mate. Thank you very much. Enjoyed a lovely half term in the sun, but stoked to be back
Yeah,
after a week's break, talking about the Islanders and a little bit of news I gathered.
yeah. So obviously, I mean, it's been the biggest story in Lego-related news in the history of Lego, as far as I can remember. Sorry, Smart Brick, this overshadowed you by
Oh
like
yeah,
1,000%. Um, we will be talking about the Bricks and Minifig situation, the alleged. Thank you, Josh. Here, let me pull this up. Actually, I use the word allegedly a lot. We'll be talking about the alleged scandal that happened. Just a little, we'll talk about it as much as we feel it's relevant to the chat, as much as you guys want to lean into it. I know Lorem Artist. I've seen some of the comments he's been posting and stuff online, and he has kind of a different take on this whole situation, which is actually kind of refreshing. We do want to actually spend some real time on the Islanders as well today, so we're not going to be taking the whole show to cover this thing.
but it needs acknowledging.
We need to acknowledge it. And I will also say, what we won't be doing is doing a play-by-play breakdown of the entire thing. We're not going to be sitting here for an hour and a half talking about, the events and the chronological order and all of those things. Like, that's not what we're going to be here for.
And there's a lot of people who put a lot of time and effort into doing that for you. So go and check their stuff out if you want to do that. Allegedly.
So what I guess my attempt or my what I want to do is, I obviously know that some of you guys do want to hear our takes on some of this stuff. You're part of our community. We got the regulars in here, dropping comments already and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll give you kind of a take on how we are looking at this. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say. But like, we're not. This is not a video exclusively trying to like break it all down for you. There's like you said, so many good videos out there that you can look at for that. So we got Chris Jones. Hello, everyone. We've got Absolute Garbage. Hello. We've got Spacer Nate. Hello. Crusader. Hello. Iron B. Hello there, lads. Bricks and Figs. Okay. Bricks and Figs collectible.
Bling.
Hello, everyone. We got you. Islanders stealing from old people.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Right. And yes, I did say reckless bam. I did that on purpose. It's a play on words. I'm sorry. I'm a dad. I have dad jokes. Get over it. Reckless bam. Because who's really been the reckless one here? Is it Ben or Bam? All right. So let's jump into it. Here we got this. This is what I'm right. Amazing. So this is kind of the vibe that I got. So, I mean, look, we've all been glued to the screens for this. If you don't know what's happened, I mean, I guess we should probably at least do a quick, like, kind of like, hey, this is what we're covering, right? So, like, allegedly, Bricks and Minifigs, there's this guy, had a bunch of Lego, did a consignment with them. Whether that was allowed or not is up for debate. It seems like there's some pretty sketchy wording saying that it was, but through a transfer of the store, apparently a lot of this valuable Lego he had got misplaced, disappeared, didn't get returned to him, and wasn't paid out. And so that's kind of the big thing, right? And then through a series of videos released by this YouTuber called Reckless Ben, he kind of tries to expose them sensationally, I will say. He does it on purpose. That was the whole, and that's what I want to say. Like the whole reason those videos are done the way they are is explicitly to blow this thing, the lid off of it, to make it provocative, to get the attention, and it did exactly what it needed to do. Regardless of whether some of the tactics you feel like he used are a little sketchy or whatever it is, he brought attention to something that I believe, regardless of what Ammon and Josh and all these other people involved are saying now down the road, a year later, what they're saying, I believe that this would never have gotten resolved at all if this had not happened. So now they're talking about coming to the table. Now they're talking about having these discussions and resolving it with what's his name? Brian Mansell is the guy.
Yeah,
his father's Lego collection. Now they're seemingly, allegedly coming to the table and having these discussions. Now, a year later, after this has completely blown up and is only continuing to blow up even more as more videos drop, as more content creators cover this thing. Now they're like, oh yeah, we should probably give the Lego back. We should probably sit down and have a conversation with him. You know, he didn't want to have the conversation originally, which is just kind of a lie. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at now. You know, with every new video that's dropped, whether it's from Duck Bricks, who did an hour-long video, whether it's from M&R Productions, who covered it and showed up on some podcasts with like live streaming, the crazy, like the whole, like the upper management live streams, like with what was the pod that did that? Was that Brickheads podcast or something?
I think it was Brickheads.
Yeah. With every new video drop and every new piece of information, the whole thing just gets more complicated. And like, I think there's a fairly clear like verdict you can draw from it if you watch both sides of all of the content spin out. I mean, I've watched probably 10 hours of this stuff at least. You've probably watched even more. So like, I think there's
it's difficult because I think you know, you have the argument put forth by the Bricks and Minifigs franchises and the CEO that, of course, the stuff is very heavily edited. There's a lot that's been missed out on that year period, and I'm totally willing to accept that that could be the case. But I think the reason that a lot of people are up in arms again about even after the initial sort of blow up into the sort of second week of this is that given the chance to come forward and fill in some of those gaps for us, there's not been a lot of explanation on the CEO or the police or Josh or any of these people's part. So I think it's one thing to say, well, that was very heavily edited. You didn't see what they did. There was death threats and all these things allegedly. But on the other side, we've given you, or you've had the stage on your channels and all these things you put out with the Utah police and with you jumping on that, the podcasts he's jumped on, McNabb has jumped on. He's had the chance to fill in those blanks with some real tangible, look, guys, this is what's really going on. Don't get tricked by this. This is a YouTube sensation. You know, it's designed to make you feel emotional, etc., etc. If he'd brought some good evidence to the table, but we haven't had that, and I think that's why people are a bit up in arms, because then they default to thinking, well, is this a cover up, basically? Yeah,
I agree. And you know, so the key players in this are, I think it's big enough that we can talk about these people. There's Joshua Johnson, there's Brandon Batts, there's Ammond, there's Matt McNabb, there's Reckless Ben, Crystal, and Brian Mansell are the key players in all of this. And we can kind of break it down. Joshua Johnson and Brandon Batts are the store owners that took over the store in Salem that's now closed because of this controversy. They took it over from Crystal, who was the original owner and that whole thing. Reckless Ben is the YouTuber who did these investigative, sensationalized videos. Brian Mansell is the owner of, or his father is the owner of this massive Lego collection, allegedly a $200,000 or $200,000 valued Lego collection, Lego Star Wars sealed Star Wars stuff. And then Ammond and Matt McNabb are the CEO and the COO, I believe, of Bricks and Minifigs Corporate. So those are like the key players that are all involved here. Now, I did take a bunch of notes when I was watching some of these things. I mean, look, I don't think I want to really break down a lot of this stuff and do a whole in-depth investigative, like pin the blame and look at all of this stuff and figure out who's doing what and whatever. I think the victim is Brian Mansell and his family. I don't know how much victim Crystal is in all of this. I couldn't really pin down what she was kind of involved with and why she was also claiming to be victimized, except for that she said they were illegally seizing the store and taking the stuff in there, and they claimed there wasn't really anything in there. She's claimed that they had time-stamped photos and stuff of all the inventory that they took. Wow, someone's street racing by my house. Speaking of breaking the law, no. So there's so I'm not sure about that, but I do think that Brian is the guy that got these things taken away, and he didn't get compensated for it. You know, when I think it was Ammond said that they had initially reached out and given him an offer very early on and said, like, you can have these things back, and he wouldn't take it, and said, and he kind of went off on saying how he started to get emotional about it and all this. I would assume that offer was probably like 5 or 6 Lego sets that they said looked like the ones on his inventory, and he was scared if he took those back, that's all.
That would be it.
Yeah, and he's out. I'm sure he's out. I don't know. Again, and here's the other thing. I don't think it's $200,000 that he's out now. You know, I think it seems like some was sold, some was held off site, some was in the stores, some he sold himself personally. Like, so I think the overall collection was roughly valued at that. I don't think that's the damages necessarily that's still needing to be paid out.
No.
So there is that too. The 200,000 is a nice number to get people like really involved, right, and really invested. So, but I will say, and then I'll let you actually kind of take this because
it's fine.
You watch a lot, and I'm ranting, but there's so much that's going on here. I feel like I just kind of have to like word art this out, and then we can kind of move on.
Of course. Well, it's still going on as well. So there's like, we might talk at a bit more length on it later down the line when things have moved on, but it's still in play. You know, 17 minutes ago, there's a new update from Ben, I think himself. So it's still happening. So there's only so much we can say on anyway. And that's not me coming out like, it's clear what's going on here, isn't it? But allegedly.
Seems like it. Yeah. But, so who's to blame? I mean, I think. Oh, you still there? You kind of froze for a second. Yeah, there you go. We got like.
Sorry, it's a bit glitchy, but it's hanging on my end.
Okay. Yeah. So as far as the blame, if people need someone to blame, that's a fault we all have. Sometimes we need to blame ourselves, depending on what we're talking about. But in this case, finding who's to blame, I think it's pretty obvious that it's the new store owners that took the store over from Crystal, and somehow the inventory allegedly disappeared. And it is very much corporate's fault, almost even more than Josh, the new store owner who took it over. I would say this lands directly, squarely on Ammond and Matt. It's their fault. And this is where I get a little, I might go off a little bit here, because they jump on these live streams, and the first thing they do is berate the public for treating their franchisees like crap.
Just like politicians.
When they're the ones that, regardless of whether or not they knew about this consignment, and they're focusing on all these minute details that really don't have anything to do with their character and how they handle the situation. It's all deflection. They came on and they preached. Both of them preached to us about how we ought to treat their franchisees, when their actions led to the hate, the review bombs, the death threats, all of those things that unfortunately a lot of these small business owners are now facing from people in the community. Yeah, it's not our fault. Yeah. It's not the community's fault. I mean, yes, obviously. It's like you shouldn't be doing that, right? So yes, if you're sending a death threat or something like that is your fault. You shouldn't be doing that. But like the reason that animosity is being laid on the business owners and the franchisees is their fault, because they've treated their franchisees this way by handling this situation so incredibly poorly. So
this is like injuring someone with a blade and then complaining that you got bled on. Yeah.
This is like the devil telling us not to sin. That's my best analogy. It's like the devil comes on here and says, "You guys shouldn't be sinning." It's like, wait, what? We didn't do anything.
And I'll tell you something on no, just looking at this little picture of McNeff here, I'll tell you one thing. This is the point where I decided that my opinions, Bricks and Minifigs, were guilty as sin. And it was the moment that McNeff walked out of his office and went, "Nope, never happened."
So that's the thing.
The look in his eyes when he said that, I can see a liar. And there's most that was like, okay, all right, what's going on here? And that's my alleged opinion.
Yeah, so allegedly, yeah. So this video that comes up, yeah, and so and really what it comes down to is because I was at the point after listening to McNabb and listening to Ammon and kind of being like, okay, yeah, Ben might have done some stuff that's a little sketchy. He got a couple of things going on there that I could see why they went after him for harassment and different things like that. And I was like, I'm gonna kind of de-escalate this on the show, and then video 2 dropped. The part 2, Ben's video dropped, and I'm like, okay. Okay, now.
But I think there's something on a macro figure looming over this whole thing. The whole thing in my head, watching all that you've just described, was like, and I'm saving it because, first of all, what's up, Lauren? Welcome. But there was this feeling in the back of my mind, like, are Lego going to say anything? Are Lego going to say anything?
Yeah.
Are Lego jump in? And then, like, obviously, Lauren's jumped in here to the chat tonight and said Lego's to blame, which is bold words. But there is a bit of an, going back to that silence of the land thing.
Yeah, no, and Laura, I actually did mention you. I called you out, or not called you out. I gave you a shout out at the beginning of the video because I'd seen some of the stuff you were posting about it. I haven't read through all of your opinions and everything about it, but I know you're taking a different stance on this. And I do want to address this before we completely move on. What I will say, and what I'm kind of driving at in this, before we really I don't think we need to, again, break it all down because I think everyone's seen the videos now. And if you haven't, go watch the videos. Reckless Ben,
go watch it.
You can go watch those. I think, I can't remember the name of the podcast, but the podcast that had those 2 CEOs on, or the CFO and the CEO, or whoever, the COO, McNabb and Ammon are on there talking. You can watch those for yourself too and kind of come to your own opinions. The police department in Utah has also got response videos out. Ben's got response videos to them that just dropped this morning. So there's enough content out there that if you don't know what we're talking about, you can definitely go find out really quickly. But
so go watch it.
All this is to say that the people on the live stream, especially Josh, Ammon, well, Josh was not on live stream. Ammon and McNabb, both lied multiple times on the stream. They lied about things they didn't even have to. So that just shows me that these people are liars. That's just the end of it.
For a living.
Yeah. So things like he said outright, you can't. Yeah, allegedly on this podcast. Actually, you can go and watch this. This is not allegedly. Whoops. Sorry, I dipped out for a second.
Okay.
This is actually something he said live, so it's not even allegedly. You can go see this. But he said you can't serve papers without a cop present. That's just a lie. In America, you don't need an officer to serve papers. You just can't serve them yourself. So very basic things. It's just throwing mud in the water, just saying things off your cuff that just aren't true. And he did that the entire time. He said that they staged the police videos, but then the police department came out with the same videos Ben used in his videos. So they didn't stage the police because the police unless the police are using Ben's staged officers to use in their response videos, those are all body cams from the police officers that the police department used themselves. So I'm only saying this stuff to point out that especially Ammon, but both of them were saying stuff like that the whole time that just wasn't true. And so you can gather their character from the things that they said and how they responded. And I think that's enough for me to know that at least these guys, kind of slimy guys, I don't trust them and I don't like what they're doing. So, I did a lot more notes and I kind of broke down more of the things that they were saying that just weren't true. And there's video evidence to refute that. And I'm not really going to get much more into that. I will say the one thing that is also obvious is Josh, the owner of the store that closed in Salem, that took it over, piece of garbage, bad guy. To the point where I think he said on the phone to the police officer, I'm going to shoot somebody if they don't.
Yeah, he did. He said, I'm going to shoot someone if they keep coming to my house. Brendan was a bit weird as well. I mean, we mentioned him. He was a bit weird when they turned up and he just went all silent and refused to speak. And then,
there's a video of
weird vibes.
Brandon Best literally lags out on live stream, basically. He glitches out in real time. The Matrix. He gets caught by the Matrix and his program stops working. Full MPC melt shutdown. He literally just can't can't emote, can't talk when he gets confronted.
Wow.
Yeah, so there is all that, and it's all in the videos. I mean, go watch them before they get pulled down, I guess. I believe also Bricks and Minifigs allegedly. Now, this is real too because he said it on the live stream. They've already filed a restraining order against Ben and against Crystal, and I believe it's against Brian Mansell as well, to not only not go at keep them away from them and keep them from contacting them, but also they're trying to.
Well, they're ring fencing themselves away from any accountability, aren't they?
And well, they're also they're attempting to take down videos, and to censor and take down any videos covering this. When Matt McNabb came on, he literally was like, "You guys better not be making you may not want to be making content around this because we're going to be taking it all down." Like he basically said that. That's a paraphrase, but and then he also, with a little gleam in his eye, said, "You had Crystal on earlier. She may get in trouble for that from the court for coming on here because we already issued the restraining order before she came on your show." And the guys that had her on were like, "Oh, we don't know what's going on." And he said that with a little gleam and a little glee in his voice that she may have already violated the order by coming on your show. It's like, geez, bro, this is how you want to approach this after the insane coverage and the insane,
which is unprofessional on every level.
Yeah,
Jason, I'm just gonna have to jump out and back in again. That was really choppy and laggy on my end. I just want to see if I can do a point.
That's fine. I'll cover some of these comments and you jump in and out.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I guess that's really and then obviously, regardless of how much the video is edited or not, when you're looking at Ben's videos and all these chopped up pieces of audio and footage and the different things we're getting from different sources, regardless of that, there's some pretty damning, audio of Josh cussing Ben out on the phone and saying he'll tell the cops that Ben stole all the Lego, and then there's also audio recording of him saying he does have the Lego and he does know about all the Lego, and then there's audio of him saying he doesn't know about the Lego and he doesn't know what you're talking about. And again, like you said, ultimately when Eamon came out of that door and said, "I don't know who that is. Who's Brian Mansell? Never heard of him." And then comes on a podcast a year later and says, "We initially reached out to Brian and tried to give him back his stuff." You just said, in Ben's video, you never knew who the guy was, and that never happened. So what are you talking about?
We tried to give him $5 store credit and he turned it down.
Yeah, no, you tried to give someone $5, $5 store credit that you didn't know existed and never talked to. That's who, that. It just makes no sense. So I think we can get to the real
it's disappointing
if you want to. It's the Bricks and Minifigs guys. It's and again, I will say, I'll echo what they said. I don't think anyone should be harassing the franchisees. I don't think you should necessarily be going after those guys at all.
But anyone who knows us and knows what we're about collecting and who's followed your shows in the past will know that isn't where we're at all. And we would never encourage that. That's not what you think. It's just they are the ones that are going to be the fallout from this ridiculous scenario. So I'm empathing with them actually.
No, yeah, and I do too. I just don't want to hear that from the CEO.
No, I don't want to know, because I don't believe a word you say. Allegedly,
that's the last person. Honestly, by him saying that probably got more hate leveled at those franchises. Him coming out and saying those things. And when he was on the air, saying all this stuff, it's and deflecting all the blame to people who are harassing his stores or his franchisees and saying it's the real problem is that and not what happened. It's just dude.
He's a weasel, allegedly. Look at the way he stood in that picture. Look at his shoulders. He's not even got his back straight. He's not even got his chest out. He's not. He's not. He's crumbling. He's crumbling, allegedly. So I think we all know what's going on here. But I do think that Lauren's got a good point about when a Lego going to step in?
Well, that's a good question. So let me pull up some comments. I
know they don't want the smoke. I know they don't want the smoke of anything to do with this, but they're going to have to.
Yeah. I will. See, now the more I talk about, more stuff comes up. It's a mess, dude. But I will say, like, when they were talking to Ammon, they're like, "Hey, are you putting in place any kind of compensation for losses for your franchisees during this time?" And Ammon says, "What losses? There's nothing wrong. It's fine." And then in the next sentence, I actually did write this down because I was like, he was basically saying, "No, we don't have anything in place to like help the, compensate any of the franchisees for the fallout of this PR disaster. We haven't set anything up for that. Basically no blowback, from these things. And then like, yes, we are reaching out to the franchisees for any suffering caused from this." So like in the same sentence, he basically said, "Nothing's wrong. We're not losing sales through this. Yes, we are we're an open book for our employees and our franchisees to come if they need help from the blowback." It's like what? So there is blowback or there's not blowback? Like, what are you talking about? Like maybe he's just talking about emotional support versus financial support. But it's like talking out of both sides of your mouth instantly. This guy, like, I don't know, man. So, okay. Let's talk about some of the, let's talk. So who's corrupt? Bricks and Minifigs corporate is corrupt. Are the police corrupt? Allegedly. We don't really need to get into the police much. Allegedly Bricks and Minifigs is corrupt.
Just watch it. If you haven't seen it, just watch it. The truth is so apparent. And even because I'm pretty good at watching stuff and realizing, this has been edited. There's two sides to every story. I always play that thing. A good critical mind should. But like, it's the silence that's so loud about this situation, and you'll know what I mean by that when you watch the whole thing. And it's still uncovering now. So if you're interested, or if you like to stay away from drama, don't watch any of it because it might just annoy you. And if you just don't need that in your life right now and you want to build, then let's build some Islanders.
So that's kind of what we're So that's kind of our take, or whatever our takeaway on this is. It's still developing. So like I'm still following it. I'm standing with, I would lean towards saying that Brian got treated badly by a corporation. Then exposed that at the very least. And now the story is moving away from a Lego collection and what it's worth and whether it's being returned to a bunch of people in a corporate situation, regardless of BAM. It could be a corporation of it could be anyone. Like, as far as like the story now, how it's moved kind of away from the Lego thing, and it's just moved into the story of kind of corruption and greed and defamation and use of power and things like that. Like, that's kind of where the story's landed. And I think that's why it's getting bigger and bigger and being picked up by so many people. It's kind of shifted from the Lego thing to this weird thing that, and the only thing that makes it relevant to Lego is that the guys that are being kind of scrutinized here are CEOs of Bricks and Minifigs. If they were CEOs of any other company, I think the story would still be pretty big, like if they treated someone the way they did and then kind of tried to deny it and all that. So it's interesting though. So as it develops, we'll just keep our eyes on it. I will say 90% of the community stands with Brian and stands against corporate. That's the damage that's already been done. So
and it's that kind of deep disappointment. Like those guys, if I was in America and those guys had chrome swords for a penny, I still wouldn't care. Not till it's sorted. Anyway,
So I do want to hear from you a little bit, Jim. Because I just blabbed along for about 25 minutes.
No,
straight.
You said. I mean, we're always pretty aligned. I think we as soon as I saw your first post the other week, I jumped straight on it because I, love a bit of drama, and I had a look. And I had another look, and I followed it all week, and I've kept right up to date. And I just sort of. I'm really interested in the police side of the bigger picture because I'm very interested in corruption and that kind of thing.
So moving away from
Lego and into how the influence of financial donations and money allegedly might have a bit of an impact on communities. And so because the Lego thing is hurting one person and that's a tragedy and needs to be resolved. But now the world are behind that person. if you've got an allegedly corrupt police force making decisions ad hoc and two-tiering and all this kind of thing, allegedly, then that could be really bad for multiple people in the community. So, you know, I always think about the bigger picture. So immediately that's my sort of concern with that. In terms of the actual scenario itself, I just, you know, having been in the Lego sphere now for about 4 or 5 years and really coming back out of the dark age and building a collection up again and experiencing FOMO, I'll be the first person to say there's been, you know, the grey Forestman hats, man. That was a FOMO moment for me. I think I paid like £30 for 12 of them, which at the time, well, it was like, what am I doing? They came in the post, it was just a tiny bag. Obviously, I'm really glad I got them, but like, you know, so I know what it's about. I know what this thing is about, and I just think those sets, we know what those sets are. It's all we talk about. We know exactly what those sets were and why it's significant and how it's not like there's even an argument to say who knows how much some of it was worth because leave it in the box for another 5 years and you've got a different price again. We know about about Lego, don't we, mate? So
that's a good point, actually.
It's deep.
Because I mean, as they didn't get returned for over a year, the values of some of those minifigs that are sealed in those boxes have spiked almost double to triple. So like you know, I mean, there is something to be said for the emotional damages caused by the way they've treated this guy. You know, I mean, there are phone calls and like other things like that are circulating.
He'll get sorted out financially now. He'll get sorted out.
I think he will. Yeah. So, but like, I mean, you know, when you say, well, it's not really $200,000. Well, maybe it's more based on all of the medical bills and the medications and the stress and the emotional damage and the strain on his family and his relationship with his dad, not including the Lego. Like it's a lot more than that. So it could have started. It's grown into something quite, you know, corrupt and tyrannical. But it could have started with something as simple as laziness, idleness. Like this guy shipped all of Brian's sets to different franchises and stores to spread the word about this. We've got this new consignment. Come get great old Lego. And so then it's just too much of a ball ache for them to get it all back. So they're just like, oh, there was no Lego. Do you know what I mean? Like it so transparently looks like that. And the gaslighting, allegedly, the kind of psyop of like, we didn't do that. Nope, never happened. As soon as he came out that door and said, nope, never happened. That he was just saying, just shut up, just go away. Please just shut up, just go away. I just make it go away. Because this guy doesn't appear to have the gumption to truly defend the personal space that he stands in. If you look at it, and I'm not talking about violence or aggression, I'm just talking about, you know, a slightly confrontational sort of debate exchange between, no, you have got my set, you need to do something, that kind of, you know, that kind of civil thing. And this guy's whole thing is like, well, I'm protected by loads of money and lawsuits, so arms folded, never happened. And I think that's just such a transparent moment for me. Well, and I think that, and here's the funny thing, you know, I think that in this clip particularly, that is when he was confronted, I believe, potentially the first time personally confronted by Ben. I don't think he knew what he was getting into. And I don't think he had any clue who Ben, this
poked a bear here,
goofy looking Willy Wonka, Ben looking character with a top hat is going to come in.
It's always a Ben. Look at the history books. It's always a Ben. It's always a Ben that stands up. So there's the moral of the thing. Like the little man can have.
But I think that's a good revealing moment here too, because like he still felt like, you know, whatever these guys' interactions were with Brian, which aren't really fully exposed yet, but like Brian has indicated they were pretty bad and very not good not good encounters with these guys. And so whatever this is, he's still on that energy. When he came on the podcast now, months after this was shot, he did sing a different tune. And he claimed that he was like, you know, he wouldn't have done anything differently. He actually said that on the podcast.
Yeah, he did. He said, because I'm really interested in truth. I really, you know, I think what's important is integrity. Yeah. He's coming out of me like Kurt Angle. You know, my three eyes, integrity, intelligence is like, all right, Kurt Angle, whatever. You're lying.
So anyway, all right. I will say one or two more things. I do want to get to the chat because that's actually really important to me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys are tired of talking about this, we will move on to Islanders.
We will move on in a minute. Honestly.
But I will say this. This story has gone so viral and mainstream. And I wanted to just quickly rattle off a list of non-Lego, non-community Lego people that have picked this up and blown it up. And this is millions and millions of subscribers combined with these people. And yeah, probably like hundreds of millions of views at this point. But some of the channels are Moist Critical. Charlie from Moist Critical has covered this now like 5-6 videos. We got CoffeeZilla saying that he's going to come out and do a video. I believe he might be in the community. I'm not sure, but M&R posted that he's going to be doing a video, and he's got a substantial following as well. We have Asmund Gold, who's been doing clips and stuff. I think he actually did a full reaction video, the whole hour-and-a-half video. I think he just posted on his channel. You got XQC doing a bunch of reaction videos on it, and H3 Podcast has also covered this. These are like mainstream, like them or hate them. Look, I read those names. I know some people don't watch those guys. Some people don't know who those people are. And some people absolutely hate those people. So like them or hate them. I'm just saying these people have massive followings. And this story is all over their channels now. So that's kind of the extent of what's going on here. I just wanted to bring that up. And I have my, assumptions why this story of all stories decided to completely blow up like it did. I think there's reasons behind that. I don't know if we need to go down that rabbit hole right now. All right, let's pull up a couple of these. I'm going all the way. I scrolled all the way back up. We're gonna
for sure. Let's go through.
Space Renee says Ben is such a wild card, pretty amazing strategy contacting him, and that's the point. I agree. Like contacting Ben and Ben actually being willing to take this on for Brian was a strategy that in this picture of Ammon, he had no idea what was going on or what was coming next. And that's the whole point of what Ben does. And so I think at the end of the day, Ben will have succeeded in getting Brian compensated for what happened to him, which is really the win here. Right. So I do think that, but now it's like punish the CEOs, right? Now everyone's like, okay, Ben, yeah, he'll probably be fine. Or like, no, sorry, Brian's going to be probably taken care of. Crystal may even be okay. The GoFundMe's are popping off that $35,000, right? Like they're getting the money. So it's like now everyone's focusing away from that. And they're like, get the CEOs, check out the police department. Now it's becoming this like federal like problem, like this national story. It's insane. All right. So anyway, that's just a little thing I want to throw in there.
But it's important. If standards slip in one place, they could, how far does that go? It needs to be addressed. Anyway, who else is talking?
All right. So Chris Jones jumps in. Sounds more complicated than Game of Thrones. I'm going to do
franchises in Batman's like Game of Thrones, mate. It's like that video with the takeover. It was like the bloody Red Wedding. Crazy.
Yeah.
Get out! And didn't they have the parrot as well, or something?
Oh yeah, there's a parrot involved. Or a parakeet. Well, and that's a good example. Crystal, where's my bird? Ammon, you said it was our problem. Now we gave it to a non-kill shelter, and it's been rehomed. It's like, okay,
that means they put it in the trash.
Well, yeah, allegedly. Who knows?
What is this?
The Lego parakeet. The Lego parakeet's cool though. From that Pirate CMS minifigure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. She's cool. I think that's a parakeet. Maybe that's a cockatoo. Yeah. I don't remember.
Cockatoo. It is a cockatoo.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. That's just completely irrelevant. More complicated. Chris Jones says, "I'm going to do some research and then watch this video again." Yeah.
Do it.
Fair. Well, don't leave. I mean, you can. Stay around.
Stay on for now. Stay.
You can go back and watch this, but okay. It's Beyond Wild, says Josh. Yeah, I will say. Bam is a brand beyond damn. Yeah, and that's, even I will give Ammon this. When he was asked, do you think you'll ever recover? Do you think this is ever going away? He did say, I don't think so. I was like, damn. He knows, at least he knows that. Whether or not he's actively still literally throwing gasoline on the fire, he knows it's not going away. The damage is done, dude.
Yeah. Just be earnest and don't be a coward, allegedly, and then these things won't happen.
Yeah. Norm's in the chat. Hey there. Lego is to blame. And this is kind of what I was talking about. He had this other thing. I'm going to read this, and then maybe you can follow up. Lego created this environment. They need to return to form. Stop creating third-party IP sets. Retirement windows. Artificial scarcity creates a thriving market for scalping and greed. So you think this is a symptom of Lego's business strategy? I mean, I guess it is a different take. I guess it doesn't take away the accountability held against the people who worked in the system and took the system to their advantage. But it does point out that Lego kind of created the atmosphere for this to thrive in. Yeah. That's an interesting take, you know. Let's see. Bricks and Minifigs Collectibles says, yeah, dude, hope the parties involved are compensated and resolved in court. Yeah. And here's something I will say to that. Court, a lot of people look to court, including those CEOs here, these corporate guys. They're looking to court to clear their names. Ben's looking to court to uphold justice. I will say an unfortunate thing is you can use legal court systems and be legally doing immoral things. Yeah. Legality and morality are not the same thing. No. And so people are like, it's all going to come out in court. The truth will be revealed and all of this. And it's like,
don't be surprised.
Okay. But like if they win all their suits and they walk free, is justice served? Legally, they got away with it then, is what would happen. Now, we don't know what's going to happen because none of us has been, like, it's not in the courts yet, or it's just getting into the courts. Yeah. But, like,
not the situation where everything's redacted. Everything's redacted. Right, everything I need to know is redacted.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Maxu. Hi. Welcome. Chris Jones says, from what I've seen, the people who run BAM stores are passionate Lego fans, and BAM corporate are all about profit and greed. Yeah, well, and that's pretty normal. I mean, look, I worked for Lego corporate. I worked for Lego retail, not corporate. I worked for Lego retail. They had a corporate, obviously. And a lot of their store managers aren't Lego fans. They don't care. They come from bookstores and other, like, you know, management positions from other retail stores. They're not Lego fans, which is fine. That's the way it works, but that's the side that they're working on, right? It's the corporate profit maxing, like all of the things that they need to do for creating a strong business. And so maybe a lot of these people up at the top here, yeah, they're not really in it for the Lego. They're in it for, you know, making some money. And then when stuff goes down, then it's not good. But yeah, so this is good, Chris Jones. Yes, the people who run the stores, the storefronts, for the most part. I mean, unfortunately, you know, some of the managers seem to not be that great, but like for the most part, these people are passionate Lego fans and want to create, you know, stores for people to come and buy Lego stuff. And it's you know, good. I have my own experiences with BAM as just the store and the franchise, and I've never been a fan, and we can get into that another time maybe. But like, I find their stores to be, it's interesting because like. A lot of the videos started out talking about this, like BAM was the gold standard for trade-ins and all this and that. And I'm like, all of the private stores that I've visited that don't have affiliation with BAM have been 100 times better,
of course,
than the ones under the franchise. So I don't know who's saying that BAM was the best thing ever until this, but like, yeah. Anyway, that's kind of a little tangent. But
it's done.
This is the best example. This is the best example of a gambler's ruin for a company. They are always going to triple down instead of admitting that they are wrong.
And this is the ego problem. This is the bigger problem, and the spiritual problem that's happening here is it's ego. This inability to take accountability for a thing and say, "I know I was wrong. It's okay. Let's do the right thing." No, we can't do that. We can't apologize to the mob. We must triple down, and it's that's the problem that's happening all over the world. And here's another symptom.
Yeah. Joe Hardy, I touched on this earlier. I don't know if you were in the chat yet, but yeah, what's wild is the police chief admitted Josh said he was going to shoot someone, and then said that Ben was threatening Josh's life.
I'm going to shoot someone if you don't get that restraining order. I'm going to. Next time Ben comes to my house, I'm going to shoot him. You better get him.
Yeah,
it's got heroin, don't you know? Allegedly.
Yeah, well, this is what Josh says. Yeah, I wonder how many Lego YouTube channels are suddenly. I'll add suddenly to that, but yeah, it says suddenly selling drugs soon. They seem like that's the threat. Allegedly, yeah. Suddenly, everyone in the Lego community is selling drugs because that's how you get the police on. If the police dare to release the full footage, not redacted, maybe we can understand the other side of the story. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Well, that was my point earlier. That was what I said. They've had the chance to come forward and fill in the gaps, and they've been ill forthcoming in doing so. And so, what other conclusion can you draw from that? It stinks.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah. Never been to a BAM, says Gamer Guru. But I always wanted to go to one. Needless to say, now I never will. Also, their CEO just looks like a shady guy. Yeah, I try not to like judge people on looks, but yeah, that's. Yeah. I think the action, yeah. See here,
sonny.
See here.
I'm going to take those Star Wars. There's nothing you can do allegedly.
I think the actions verify how he looks. So we can get both now. He does look shady and seemingly, allegedly.
Bam Sinister would have been another good pun. I just thought of that. Bam Sinister.
Oh, Bam Sinister. There you go. Yeah. Lego had a rough PR year with all the war AI. That's true. Yeah, we don't really get into that, but all the propaganda that different countries are using it with like CG or AI generated war propaganda all in Lego. They're probably just melting down over there. Like the last thing they needed was a preferred vendor, the biggest in America, third-party Lego shop, preferred vendor on their thing to like blow this thing so big. Like, that's the last thing they want to address after the smart brick controversy. Like they're having a little bit of a rough year. Bricks and Minifigures Collectible says, my local BAM in Cali are great, but the idea of corporate receiving 6 to 7% of the sales makes me not want to support. That's the problem. And this is the thing, like these guys have a meat shield, which is their franchisee stores. All the people who run these little stores for them now absorb the damages that they caused. And, when it does ultimately cause a little bit of damage, but if you wanted to boycott these guys to make them hurt, you're going to hurt all the little guys too. And that's the problem. That's the worst part.
We know they don't care about collateral in that way. We know that about them from what we see allegedly. From what we've seen, we know they don't care about. It's okay. So there's going to be people suffering or whatever. As long as I'm okay in my house,
that's why I'm not.
I'm fine.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not recommending that you necessarily do boycott BAM stores. I don't go to them. We don't really have anyone close to us. I have to drive way far away to find one. I have a ton of local little shops around me that I support. I'm not recommending that you necessarily boycott BAM. I don't know what you're thinking, but
we've got a member of the chat in need. Squidge says, "Give me the Islanders. I've got BAM fatigue, please."
Okay, all right. But all that to say, like I guess the what should we do kind of part here, like that's up to you guys. You need to form your own opinions and figure it out. Like I'm not going to tell anybody to go not shop at BAM because I don't necessarily think that's really going to hurt corporate. But it does suck that they do take that big chunk.
It's out now. There's a certain amount of it. You've got to let the jungle deal with it now.
Yeah, Lego's not just Lego is a very family-friendly brand, so it's really this is really damaging. Yeah, and here's the problem, like for Lego, regardless of BAM's all over it, but Lego's all over it too, though. The word Lego is being thrown around all over these stories, and so it is going to come back to Lego to a certain extent. I don't think it's going to do an insane amount of damage to Lego, but like it does reflect on them a little bit because it's all about their product. So BAM's business is kind of done. Yeah, who's going to trade or buy sets from them? I mean, yeah, we'll see. You'd be surprised how many like NPCs are still out here that just don't know this is even going on and just go about their day buying and selling and doing things, So, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know, man. This story wouldn't have gained the attraction if it had been a Lego Islanders collection. That's true. Chris Jones is still in the chat.
Good link.
100% Lego's at fault. They created the fever. Yeah, I mean, they created the monster that's now destroying everything. These are a couple of longer ones. Yeah, and this is kind of I kind of wanted to hear from you, Jim, a little bit on like the non-American take because we're all in America. We got all these stores. I don't even know if they franchise outside of America. I'm not sure.
We do. Some of our McDonald's are franchised. Like there's franchise.
Oh no, but like BAM.
Oh no, we haven't got a BAM as far as I'm aware. We might have. Someone correct me if I've never seen a BAM in England.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
I use Brick Owl. I go to the local, like when they have a Lego day at the local sports hall. I go down there and fill up the tubs and have a look at what's going on, and get involved with as much locally as possible. I don't even buy from Pick a Brick. So I just try and get it all. So it doesn't affect me, but that doesn't mean I don't care about the people it affects. We do have franchises over here, but that's a different thing. But I don't know if we've got BAM, so I'm pretty sure we haven't. So today I've just been watching it and just thinking, like I said before, my main takeaway is like the bigger corruption that's at foot here, or the fact that, like, you know, you can use the apparatus of a state to just get away with anything that you want. That's the bit that interests me about this.
Well,
but
and I think
I've got to say that the sad thing, just to finish, the sad thing for me here is that the disappointing thing is that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that leads into a bigger corruption conversation with like corporations and people in power and all that. But that's why I'm not surprised at all either, really. I mean, I think the one wild card, going back to what Spacer Nate said earlier, the wild card was Ben, because otherwise they just get away with it, like you said. And yes, they have seemingly allegedly used law enforcement or these other things, money, large amounts of money, and like courts and things to kind of insulate themselves. And even their own franchisees kind of using them as a shield to insulate themselves. It does feel like that's what's happened. But Ben is the one wild card that actually drove a knife into, you know, alleged hyperbole right here. That drove a knife to the heart here, right? By getting closer than anyone else could have, probably, by the sensationalized documentary style videos that he like dropped out of nowhere. That's the one wild card, I think, in that, where you're pointing to something that is actually probably a very common practice, and we're just seeing a little bit of it.
That's what I mean. I imagine how much other cases like this there are all the time that no one knows about because they haven't got a ban.
Right. No, I agree.
Know.
Could you read this comment?
Yeah, of course. Since I'm from Europe, I never bought in a BAM, a Bricks and Minifigures store. But when I saw videos of it months ago, I already thought the price was a bit too high. I know the company has to make a profit, Lego, but when I saw, Max is just basically saying that, you know, two minifigs 2 times the price they are on Bricklink, very low store credits, almost already seems like an overpriced store. And I can imagine that a lot of that's another reason why I don't buy Lego from like what the equivalent of Bricks and Minifigs we've got. I can't think what they are, but there's some of them in the cities. It's stupid. You like a blue coat's like 12 quid or something. Just a normal, not even a soldier, just normal. So I could just get that for 6 quid on Brick Owl. So it's fine. It's not affecting me.
All right. But no, I get that.
And then we get to Squidge, bless him.
Sorry, Squidge. If you're still in the chat, we're getting to the Islanders now. So
thank you.
We'll please.
Please.
All right. A good point. Lorem says you can re-release the entire Star Wars catalog and blow up the secondhand market if they wanted to. Yeah, and they would make profit. They make all the profit too. So it would be in their best interest actually to do that. It would cut out all of this craziness. Lower
the Brian collection.
The
Brian wave. Do that actually, Lego. Release the Brian wave. Give one full set of the wave to Brian.
Yeah, it's more than this, man. It's more than this. It really. I wonder why the CEO would risk the entire reputation of BAM over a max profit of $200,000 when some of the people are saying BAM Corp is worth $400 million. I think it's bigger than that. I'm not 100% sure, but now I don't think again, like in this picture when this was taken of him back here, you know, like I don't think he realized that's what he was doing until it was too late. Yeah. Now, why he continues to double down is an odd kind of look for sure, but. I don't think we have BAM in England, says Chris Jones, and Bamlinder's episode.
Bamlinder?
And with that, we will transition from this crazy story. Yeah, but being, you know, a Lego kind of podcast of sorts, I felt like there was no way to, like, do a video without at least addressing this. But now we've
nothing happened. There was no scandal.
There was no Lego collection. Who's Brian? I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, see here. All right.
Yeah, Sonny.
Wow.
Wowzers, look at these beautiful. Now that's the sign. That looks much better than McNeff's face. Look at that.
Seen enough of that. All right. Is it Islanders time now? Yes. Sorry. Yes, Lego Islanders. Here we are.
Soak it in.
Oh, I will also say Legos. We need to keep saying Legos with an S. I do it out of protest.
I have
it's the
Legos.
Incorrect way to say Legos, and so I will continue to do that. It bugs so many people, I just can't stop. Anyway, so here we are. Let me pull up the names for these guys. We have King Kahuka's throne right over here, top right. we've got the crocodile cage and the Islanders catamaran.
Amazing.
And I think Josh originally, way up here, said, I love the iconography of the Islanders.
Yeah.
It was one of the first comments on the video. So
iconic.
Yeah.
They are iconic. I mean, you know, just like any great system faction. This is right there. What, 94 are we, Jason? Where are we in Lego Space?
Yeah, 94.
94, yeah. I mean, you might have remembered from a few weeks ago when we talked about something in 94 in the Pirates line. I might have told the story that we had a shop called Woolworths here in England, for the British people to know.
Yeah.
And I went out with my nan, took me and my brother out to the town just to grab a few bits and just get a sausage roll. And the things you do when your parents leave you at your nan's for the day. And in the Woolworths bargain bin at the end of 1994, when all of these hadn't sold, amazing in that particular Woolworths, I think the throne there was about $1.99. I think the crocodile, the sort of lockup where they may or may not be cooking him, was about three quid, and the catamaran was about £7, and I actually bought them all for me, and they were all about 12 quid or something.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I remember just building them and playing it. My nan's like all day on the floor with these three. Have that memory imprinted into my head. I just built and rebuilt that throne so many times, and yeah, just iconic is the word. Yeah, he's right. Just such a great. You know, I wasn't thinking about anything politically at the time about Islanders or anything like that. I was just enjoying these amazing prints, amazing vibrant colors, and an amazing new addition to like Pirates, my favorite Lego universe.
Yeah,
something to another dimension. What happens when they get shipwrecked? Who's going to get them when they get shipwrecked apart from the animals? And here's the answer. So
yeah, no, this is like the biggest shift in Lego pirate lore in the history of the theme. I mean, this is the equivalent of Native Americans being added to Lego Wild West, or even like Dragon Masters showing up at Lego Castle, right? Like this is how big this is. It's such a incredible addition to Lego Pirates.
Really is.
You know, and to take a different, you know, stance on this. This is when Lego was more inclusive, when they represented more cultures in their sets than they do today. So that's how I look at it. Let's see. Josh did ask if this was the only one outside of Lego that the shield ship was used. No, I mean, at the time it was this one in Wild West, I think. Here, Arn's Wild West was also used.
Although that came after this, so maybe this
that's true. That's fair. I do know now. I mean, you got Harry Potter with some of the shield shapes. I mean, all the botanicals have them. Like, what was it? Star Wars had some shield shapes on some.
Got a new,
But up until this point, this was, I think, this was the first use outside of Castle up until this point, though.
Yeah, for that shield. Yeah, he was. So yeah, you're right in what you said there. I love the fact that you get two of them on the throne set because it's only a little set, and the way you did that, it's lovely.
Well, you got that cool mask. I mean, the new parts are great. Like,
they are,
you got I don't know, is this the first time alligators show up?
Yeah. Alligators came here.
And they come in so many. Like, the little one's got an alligator. This one's got an alligator. There's a lot of alligators to have here. So you got the sprue with two horns and the plume. Yeah. I actually have this little one up in the top here. I've got crocodile cage sealed sitting in my storage. Wow. Yeah, it's like a little box. It's like kind of nice.
Amazing.
Not sure what to do with that, but
oh yes, I remember seeing about that.
Yeah.
Good set. Good.
It's worth like it's $106 on the aftermarket.
Oh crikey! Maybe hold on to it for a bit longer, see what happens. I like the idea of opening an old set and having light grey but brand new.
Yeah. I don't think Lorem would appreciate me hoarding it to get more money.
No.
He doesn't like that. No, I'm just
kidding.
It
depends it depends on how much you need it, to be honest. But
what I do is this
just open it and build it.
Yeah. I'll either. That's the thing. Like, I don't intentionally sit on it to rack up value. I sit on them because I'm trying to decide if I want to open it or trade it. Because I usually won't sell it. I'll usually trade it for something in another store at one of my little local shops. So. Let's see. Let's do a shout out. Maxu says, I don't know if you guys know of Brick Sticker Shop, but they make good stickers and sale replicas. I indeed bought a replica of the sale.
I have that exact one from Brick Sticker Shop, a couple of them actually, and I use them all the time. And if you look back through some of our previous episodes, we talk about it sometimes, and we'll show you. I've shown you some bits.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty close with Brick Sticker Shop. I've personally emailed them a couple of times. I've been talking about doing some stuff collaboratively with them. So, we're big fans of Brick Sticker Shop. We like the quality. I think they do some cool stuff. Crusader says, would you agree that Iron Force is kind of the Forceman of pirates? Yeah, I guess that's a better. Well, Forceman did Forceman kind of come out with the first castle sets? I mean, it was kind of the first one. It wasn't. Yeah. I think they kind of were there at the beginning, so that's why I brought up like Dragon Masters, because they have the dragons, and like it's such an interesting new kind of direction for Castle to go. So it's kind of similar to that. But these guys, as far as like culturally, they are kind of the Forcemen of pirates.
Although the Robin Hood thing was rob from the rich, give to the poor. They were still supporting a community out there in the forest, whereas these guys could have been savages, possibly.
Yeah. There's some indication. There's potential cannibalism, allegedly. We're not sure. I mean, there is lore surrounding these guys, and there are I can't remember if I think it's the Blue Coats or it's either the Blue Coats or the Armada are actually friends with the chief. Like, there's actually lore built into Lego that says that there's someone in the chat might actually know this. If you could drop that, that'd be cool. We could bring that in. Yeah, there's some sort of like some amicable arrangement between the leader King Kahuka and some of the colonial guys, but I'm not sure exactly what that was. Let's see. Space Renee says, dude, the Lego thing is so interesting. I have an pamphlet from the early I was like I almost read elephant there for some reason. Pamphlet from the early 80s with a note from Lego exec of some sort reminding people not to say Legos. I'll continue to say Legos. That's so funny. Yeah, we were taught when I worked for Lego corporate or Lego retail that we're not allowed to say Legos with an S, or like not allowed, but they didn't like it. Yeah. Like, I don't think you're supposed to say it like when you're talking to customers, but we could like say it behind the counter, like to each other and stuff. We'd always say it to the like regional managers to make them mad.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now Trick Bricks is busy with the new kiddo. I know this is some of his favorite stuff. Yeah, and he would actually be able to probably tell us who the allies were and stuff like that too. I miss him. He hasn't been able to jump into these lately. It's fun to have.
I can understand that. I had mine 2 years ago, and it's a lot at that first period. So yeah, wishing him well in his. But if there's one thing you can be sure about Tricks, he'll be back.
Yeah, he comes back. And congratulations, Tricks.
Yeah,
for the little one. Yeah,
last one. Hope to see you soon, Jamie.
Don't sell it on.
Just don't sell it on, because I nearly made the joke at the time, but I didn't want to
I'll avoid that for sure. So this came with a lot of new parts. We got the mask. We got a lot of cool stuff. We got the alligators. We got the zebra printed drum piece. We got some nice new printed minifigs with leg printing. Yep. Canoes with stickers. Unfortunately, they're not printed, but
they were a nightmare, to be fair, because they were applied over a curve. They would always peel at the edges. I don't think I'm lucky enough to have one that's got them in pretty good condition, but generally,
I've got a few that look okay.
They turn up, they're absolutely ragged, and they've got hair in the sticker and stuff.
Totally, it's not a great positioning there for sure.
But they do look beautiful when applied. They look beautiful. Brick Sticker Shop as well. So.
I was just gonna say, Brick Sticker Shop has a bunch of sheets of those you can reapply and put back if you want.
For sure. Do
that. I thought the black part was the helmet and not the hair. Oh no, that's definitely the hair. Moana 2 sets have some great Polynesian sails and fabrics. Yep. Oh, I thought you were gonna say like this is the Lego Moana 2, like from the 90s. It's the Moana Legos, bro. No, they do. I actually looked at some of the Moana stuff because I was like, like some like neo-classic Islanders. They have some parts on those sets. I just don't want to spend the money to buy the whole set, and it's like half of it's no good.
I picked one of those sales up off the Brick Owl for that exact same consideration about the neo-classic. Something to use them. They've got some like stars on them on the sale or the beige sale, but I did pick a couple up there. A few quid.
Crusader says Forceman came out a couple years later, so it was the Crusaders and the Black Falcons originally.
Okay. Yeah, must have been. I've got a question related to 6256, actually, if I may venture that question. And that is the two parrots on the front. Do we think they're totems, not real birds? It would be quite hard to get two birds to land just perfectly uniform like that. They are on this set as kind of like totems that have been painted, maybe? Or what do we think?
You know what? I don't know if doing a vote in the chat is something I can do, but I would have liked to do that.
That would be a good one.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing, but that's the kind of thing I want to start doing is stuff like that. Let's have the chat vote if those are totems or parrots. Yeah. I would say they're totems.
Yep.
That's how I see them.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I'm seeing if I can do that.
Because there's a decoration on the other side as well, so there's some uniformity implied there, isn't there?
Show comments on the stage. No, okay, never mind. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Do you think Adventurers Jungle can be a sort of a reboot of Islanders? I mean, they got similar vibes for sure. And then they got the new mask for Atu, the leader, and like they got the gold sun disc. So there's definitely some like
that was a good one.
You could probably like retrofit that big temple from Jungle. I don't remember what that is. Jungle Temple, maybe is what it's called. Into like you can rebuild it kind of a little bit, take away some of the foliage and like the kind of the ruin aspect of it and build out around it, maybe add some more buildings around it and build an Islanders style temple area. What's cool about it is you could kind of make it almost a different faction of Islanders because it's got a little bit more Aztec Incan sort of vibes to it. So I like that. Yeah, could be. I mean, I don't know what jungle they're in Johnny Thunder Jungle, but
they're in the jungle.
This little set, I don't remember the name of the treasure box, but it was an exclusive, like kind of set, and it's not included on Brick set. It's not included in the Brick set list as an Islanders set.
No.
But it seems to me that it's very Islanders.
It is not. It's like it could maybe be a pirate set. That's quite, but whatever. It's definitely Islanders and Pirates. I think each one of those got a different set and series number 1788. So it's a promotional of some sort. You see this one flying around a lot. There's a couple of them on Brick Owl actually, not sealed, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a lovely box. I'd love to have one of those, but no cigar on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so it's called Pirates Treasure Chest. So it is. That's probably why they consider it a pirate set. Pirates Treasure Chest. We could do another vote. Is it Pirates or Islanders? I think the reason it's kind of falls more onto Pirates is the flag flying above it and the cannon. Yeah. However, they're using the red pillars from the Islanders, and they're using the Islanders rock because that printed corner panel, only came on Islanders, and there's.
I think it's Pirates, and here's why. I think, yes, it has got that rock piece, and yes, it has got the red bar, but some of the Pirates bases use red for their supports. It's also got the blue lantern from the schooner. And I think what's happened here is they've sort of shipwrecked and they've set up a little base in the Islanders' territory, and on their Islanders' next patrol, which is that single canoe there and that one with the spear, they've caught them, and there's a bit of a standoff occurring. That's what I think may have happened. Or it's the Pirates have built on an Islanders outpost or something.
Sure. Yeah. Well, either way, it's a really cool set. It's a little harder to get a hold of, I believe. It's kind of a nice little exclusive. I think
it does look like a black spear, doesn't it?
It does look like a black spear, yeah. It's got a couple of interesting colors. I mean, you got a black. Is that a big? Is that a black corner like crenellation piece, like large? Yeah. That's cool. So there's some cool pieces on here for sure. What was I going to say about this one? I was going to say one more thing about it. I don't remember. It's also got that blue. It's got that blue palm tree piece, the lantern piece back there. Yeah. That's kind of a little. Isn't that kind of a little rare? And then, is this the only Lego set outside of the Islanders that comes with Islanders minifigs?
Must be.
So it does fit in this talk, in this discussion, because Islanders are included in this set.
It was definitely this era.
But yeah, I don't recall any other pirate sets coming with Islanders.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
No. Islanders sets came with pirates, but not the other way around. You're right, mate.
And then King Kahuka's Throne. So the first one is just called King Kahuka's King Kahuka, by the way. This one here, I think this one, that one at the top is just, it's not
King Kahuka.
This is his throne.
This is his throne.
Yeah, comes with a lot of minifigs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it comes with a lot of minifigs too. We're looking at like 5 minifigs in this one set.
Yeah.
This is a cool set. I really like this one.
It is cool.
Yeah,
it's really
I'm
nice.
a big fan of that one.
I like both of them, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean the amount of cool stuff in these is just nice. There's so much. I mean, you get the full build of the totem head here. You got all the shields. You got all the figs. You got the sail, the cloth sail, and the boat. Like
beautiful
printed drum. Like
it's amazing.
It's such
so cool.
Josh, I mean, one of my favorite musicals about English people cannibals.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd. Actually, a pretty great movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty cool.
I wish we got new Islanders. Yeah, I mean, that's unlikely. Islanders, love them. Got them all. You know, I think I do too. And I do think I have this treasure chest. I just don't have the box. But I do think, I mean, there's nothing incredibly rare on this. You could part it together pretty easily. I think the biggest kind of issues are going to be potentially the printed panel, the big flag, and that black crenellation and that blue lantern piece. Not impossible to get all those parts, but it could be a little spendy.
Yeah, no, the black crenellation's dear over here, and the blue, the lantern piece, is quite dear. I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago when we did red coats, I showed you how I made a solution for making one of those. If you didn't have the palm tree piece out of a bar and some different parts.
That's blue, right. Yeah.
Do be sure to check out the red coats episode if you really want to make one of those on a budget.
And it looks good. It looks really good.
Josh, it's not too bad.
StreamYard can do polls. I just don't know. I don't pay for the
premium. We'll figure that out for next time.
So we'll get into it. I have to play around with it more. I'm not sure if my StreamYard lets me do that, but I would love to start doing that. Crocodiles, yes, indeed. Yeah, also, the kayak parts look perfect. Yeah. I love all the little rafts too. There's lots of little rafts included and stuff.
They're great. I always love these crocodiles. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, no. After the first couple of waves of pirates referenced the Caribbean. Sorry, I totally screwed that up.
After the first couple of waves of pirates referenced the Caribbean a lot, what do you make of the Islanders looking way more South Pacific inspired? I reckon you can talk on that, can't you, Jay?
I will say, I read that because when you read the Caribbean, I started trying to read Pirates of the Caribbean. I would say they're just in different locations, right? That's the glory of adding these new factions in. It almost relocated them into another area, right? So that's kind of cool. But that is a good point. Yeah, these are considered, especially Islanders, and you hear the term South Pacific Islander, and then these guys are called Islanders, so you kind of correlate the two. It is interesting though, like that. Yeah, because there is a lot of Caribbean stuff going on in the first sets, and I think they mentioned that a lot, like you said. So, I mean, maybe we've sailed into a new area and we're establishing. You notice, like all these guys, the pirates are in boats. This is the only one down here that has any kind of established base in this land. Yeah. A lot of these guys are just in boats and like kind of sailing off. Maybe little from dinghies from the main ships and stuff like that. So they're like kind of contacting these areas, and they don't have established forts with Islanders attacking them and stuff. No. Some of the images actually, though, to be fair, actually, now that I'm thinking about that, there is a shot in one of the European catalogs of like, I can't remember the set, the big red one with the big skull in the middle. Is it Skull Island?
Oh yeah.
And the Islanders are pouring in over that. So there is that image. So maybe I'm a little off on that, but, got chocolate in my peanut butter. I think it's the middle of both. It's in the middle of both themes, says Josh. Merchant Base Collectibles, I always imagine the Islanders as headhunters. I like their commercials with the treasure in the caves. Yeah. They I mean, they're depicted pretty that way. I mean, pretty on point with that. They're kind of the depiction of that is kind of, it's like it hints at it. Obviously, there's no like Lego like imagery of them like running around with Lego heads in their hands or anything like that, or actually roasting people. But there's like a prison next to a fire in a couple of sets, so it's like. Actually, it says I don't think Lego will bring back old classic themes outside of Creator 3-in-1 like they are doing with Classic, Castle, and Pirates. Yeah, I think we might see a little bit in Icons, depending on how much they want to keep that theme alive. We might see, because they did Blacktron, they did the Galaxy Explorer, they did the Lion Knight's Castle all under the Icons line, and they did the Medieval Village. So like I think Lego has more cultural issues with producing a theme like this than they do whether or not they want to. Like, yeah. And if they're gonna do another pirate one, it's gonna be another El Dorado or another pirate ship. I don't think we're gonna see these guys come back, but they could either sneak it in under Creator or well, hang on. They could sneak it under Creator, Icons, or City.
Yeah.
Because you could put anything in Lego City.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it'd be City if it was anything, given the way they go.
They do have shrunken heads on poles. I forgot about that. Yeah, and the main one. Never mind. Sorry, I'm making a lot of bumping noises. Yeah. You were going to say that, Jim? You said you were going to
I didn't make the connection with the word headhunters, but I know there's a little yellow round piece that I believe signifies a shrunken head. I thought it was on Crocodile Cage.
I don't know if they have little shrunken heads. I know that. I thought they had skulls on posts, but maybe they do have shrunken, the little 1x1. Is that what you're talking about with the little hairpiece on? Okay, we'll take a look on Enchanted Island. It's coming up here. Is that known as Indigo Island or Indigo Island?
Indigo Island in the UK, it was made as Indigo Island.
Interesting. All right, this is maybe my favorite Islander set, and I hate that it's a little blurry in this image, but
I love this one.
I might like this one better than the big one even. Yeah, I'm always drawn to the big one because it's the flagship set, right? You kind of
no, this is nice and brick built. This
might be my favorite Islander set, dude. I mean, even up to the extent of having the little like mask on the top as they're like instead of a flag because they don't have flags. Like, just the leg out. Yeah.
Let the palm tree tackle the asymmetry apart from that nice and in the middle and
we've got the little sandbars on the sides. The thing opens. There's some really nice imagery on the back of the box for this too. I only did the alt builds, but there's 2 panels. I have the box for this somewhere, but there's 2 panels, and one of them is just all the features of the set and beautiful photography. There's too many slides for this show, so I didn't include that one. But man, I really love this set. This might be my favorite one.
It's fantastic.
I love the variation of the totem head thing.
Yeah,
that's cool too. Yeah. Right, like that's a different totem.
Yeah.
They did actually have some native like islanders in some of the CMFs. They had one guy with a tiki islander mask and stuff.
Okay.
And they actually did include volcano, not really volcano. It was like they included islander stuff in Ninjago. There's a 5 or 6 series set, and I bought all the sets. I have the entire line of whatever the island version of Ninjago was. It was like 5 sets, and they come with little islander like ghouls. They're not people though. They're like witch doctor like guys with tusks and stuff. But they have like shields with like South Pacific kind of like dragons, sea dragons on them, and they have like the masks, the tiki masks.
Oh,
and
weird.
And some of them have like multiple heads, like 2 heads stacked on them. So they're like mutated like monsters. They're not people. They're not supposed to be representing people, but but they do have gear you can translate into making a new kind of neoclassic. Yeah,
that's really cool. There's a brick technique that I really like on this build, on the just underneath that middle totem at the top where the palm tree roof is, where they move to a jumper and the jumper fits in the other stud in a long plate in the middle, so you can actually press down into it and have it sort of offset but still, and then come back on set above it with a plate placement. Since I've realized that exists, which in the beginning of Dark Age I couldn't remember it for some reason. When I first came out of Dark Age, I couldn't remember that brick technique, and that unlocks a lot of cool moves when you do little pieces. And little
I remember building the heads for the big island, the Enchanted Island, and using that where they did the jumpers to bring in the three die into the back of the Ford, the even numbers again on the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's so cool.
The maths checks out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The heads are yellow and white cone pieces. Okay, yeah. So I would that leans heavily into suggesting some sort of shrunken heads and skulls and stuff in their island. So for sure. Love the brick built faces in the stone. Yeah. And there's some really cool stuff coming up here about that, and we're gonna get into that. Let's pull up this one, which is the big boy. So this has the same head design as his throne right here. You can see it. It's the same. I think it's the exact same build. Here it is. There's the little cone right here, the shrunken head, and I don't know if there's another one. There might be another one somewhere around here, but there's definitely this one right out in front here. Yeah, with the little horns. Amazing. So you could look at that as a totem or a shrunken head.
I love the fact that there's some on the back of the crocodile ride as well, I think. And I love the fact that there's a white flag. I feel like somebody came with a white flag saying, "I come in peace," and they just killed him and took his head.
Yeah, the guy that came with the white flag is the guy in the bush with the horns on his head.
But that kind of echoes that guy who went to visit that tribe in real life, and they just put an arrow through him. He went to try and take the Bible to them, and he just.
That happened a lot. There's a lot of stories like that.
Obviously, I'm just picking the one from YouTube, but I'm not that ignorant. I know it happened a lot. I'm just thinking of a story that people might know just to relate. But you're totally right. You're totally right. But I like this on these double base plates because I feel like this is one of those builds that actually some of the raised base plate pieces in this style can be guilty of not having a lot of brick count outside of the base plates. And whilst this does leave a lot of on the left-hand side exposed, I do think there's quite a lot of brick-built stuff on this.
It's still a little low. It's 428 pieces. Oh, here's an interesting fact. The original had 428 pieces. The re-release in 2001 had 419 pieces. So they dropped off almost, 10 parts? 9 pieces?
I'd like to know what they were.
Yeah, because I have the... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I have the second one, the 6292.
Maybe you're not getting a white flag.
Yeah, I'm not getting something. What the heck? I didn't know that. It looks exactly like the one I have. Wow. What would they have taken out? I wonder if they just rebuilt a part of it with more.
It could have been that. Yeah, instead of putting two little plates together, they used a big wedge plate or something.
Yeah, exactly. What's the word? More resourceful ways to build it together.
They could have been that
economically built it more economically. Yes. Minifigs collectibles, yes. Lavender minifigs, yes, they are lavender creatures, and he believes they were called the keepers. So in the Ninjago,
I've seen them when I've been scrolling through parts, but
I got them all literally because of that. I'm like, I'm going to use these parts for some buy rebuild. I may actually use them for the stuff we're going to bring to BrickCon this year, so we'll see.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, let's pull up this too. This is the back of the box for this one. Back of the box for Forbidden Cove. We didn't name it either. This is Forbidden Cove, and this is the back of the box here.
Amazing.
These are okay. I like the one maybe down below a little bit. You got
with the boat garage,
the little funky boat thing. Yeah, the boathouse for them.
The leaf layout's nice on that as well. The palm layout's cool. Yeah, the other one's a bit weird.
I mean, these don't do justice to the official set, though.
No.
Sometimes we'll look at the back of the box and you're like, whoa, like for Dragon. Did we do Dragon Masters yet?
Fire Breathing Fortress. We loved one of the up builds a lot, almost as much as the original. It was that.
Yeah. This one's
built out of the boat on that a bit. That's a bit funky. I love Iron Hook with his Islanders hairdo. That might have to go in the minifig collection somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's hanging out, dude. He's vibing with these guys.
It's like I was ginger, but now I have black hair because these guys have black hair.
He's. This is the Lego's official cultural appropriation minifig.
Yeah, perfect.
That's pretty funny. Let's see. I heard the slapping bass in the background. Just noticed studio. Nice. Yeah.
Sorry. I'll if it's really loud, I didn't realize it was bleeding through because I've got the sound gates on. But it's a band have kicked in. Sorry.
No, it's not bad. It's just a little in the background sometimes.
I'll just mute it when I'm not talking.
Mr. Box is looking like this. Damn you, Legos. With an S. Yeah. Anyway, back to here. You got the revolving draw or the revolving rope bridge. You can knock people off. You got the monkey. I mean, the parrots here. I think the only set that really feels like totems is the raft here with the parrot use. I mean, the rest of them, you got one like perched up here. You got a couple just floating around in here, like just hanging out. Wait, yeah, there's one over there and a monkey. So, yeah, and the back of this is a little sparse. There's just kind of a palm tree like set in between the totem creature build, the stone statue, and the main base. Not a whole lot going on there. The sail even kind of hides it a little bit to fill the space. I don't know if you've ever built this or played with this one. Do you know much about this one? Or... Oh, you muted yourself. Are you muted?
Yeah, sorry, forgot to unmute. Oh, that was a rookie maneuver. I didn't have it at the time. No, unfortunately, I had all those other little ones, but I didn't have this. But now I've got it, and I've got all the pieces. I haven't built it verbatim.
Oh, okay.
Played with
You'll enjoy it. It's an enjoyable build. There's some really fun. Like it's not again like you can tell when you look at the level of the base plate. There's not a whole lot, but they do some cool like things up on the front. The sail's actually hiding one of the main play features, which is like a palm tree, like little hidden cove.
Yeah, I've seen the other video. Trick Mix's video reveals quite a lot.
Oh, okay. So
anyone else who's wondering, go check out Jamie's video. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is. It's a beaut. I mean, I'm working on a bigger scale Islanders mock on. It's not really fully started. I've just pulled a load of pieces for it, but my concept is a big crocodile ruin, like a stone crocodile, but a long one. So the pieces are all kind of in a bag for that. But I may well just make this as it is. And normally around Christmas time when we have the holiday, that's when I like to build like sets as they were, not worry about marking, just build for pleasure. I've got Message Interceptor base for Blacktron ready for this Christmas. I'm going to build that exactly as it was. So yeah, I might do this one as well if we've got time. But no, thanks for the heads up. It does look beautiful. I can see some really great stuff from here. So
yeah. I did also want to point out in the official Lego lore right here, we have they do ride the alligators, or at least King Kahuka has some sort of ability to ride the alligator. So maybe he's got some spell he casts. I can kind of feel like some of these guys might have some magic. So
he's the pirate Magisto.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Anyone play that game Banjo and Kazooie on the N64?
I never played it, but I'm familiar with the game. Yeah.
Mumbo, the shaman guy, you go see him and he transforms you into a crocodile or a different animal.
Did you ever play? Is it Monkey Island? Did you ever play Monkey Island?
No, never played that. I'm aware of that one as well, but I never played it.
That one was kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, sorry, totally sidetracked.
No, that's right.
Monkey Island, go play it if you can find it. Yeah, I like also this is the modded canoe here with the little catamaran type. What do you call that thing? I don't remember the correct terminology for it, but it's a pontoon, I guess, coming off the side. I really like that. I think that's fun. And I was going to point out this build with his little like the litter he's sitting on or the throne where. Yeah. King Kahuka and the crocodile. That if you just snapshot that, put it on a little box like the Royal Knights King, that could totally have been its own little set.
That should have been a set on its own. I think they'd have put that in the oblong box because of the crocodile, maybe, but it would have been nice. Cool? Just that, and maybe just a little side bush with a shrunken head on a little green plate would have been cool.
There you go. Yeah. Another little $7 set. Outrigger. Yeah. Okay. Crusader says Outrigger. Yeah. That little thing on the canoe.
You say $7 for that, but that would have been about $3.99 back in the day.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Because the King Kahuka set that we looked at was $4 and like the crocodile cage was $7. So yeah, you're right. That would have been like
you're talking like the equivalent to like Harbour Century or something, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. So
crocodile was the boat, and yeah,
totally. Yeah. So then we got a couple of things, and here's where I think did Chris Jones talk about the stone statue heads? Here's where we get some very cool.
These ones are
alternate.
Cool.
There's that weird one with the horns and ears kind of in this lower image. There's one breathing fire, which I really like with the big ears, almost elephant ear type stuff here.
That one.
It looks like they're worshiping it or something, and the crocodile's coming over. Like that's
my favorite. Yeah.
You like this guy? This
I like the one on the left with the crazy, almost more Crash Bandicoot style.
He's got that's a troll. He's like
a troll,
golem, some sort of golem head thing over here. Look at that. Look at the teeth. That's creepy.
It is weird. I also like, the way that the anti stood at the bottom of the facet, it's created teeth. It's cool move. And at the bottom one would be beard or whatever. It's nice. That tree, you could do that in brown and have like a tree beard vibe. Or
totally. Yeah.
I like also in the bottom one the way they kind of separated the base plates, and you've got
I love that
forestman looking thing in the corner there.
If you separate the island part with the red building and the totem, and just look at that. And they have the bridge going across on a hinge. I think Lorem's system doesn't like them when they're hinged. Or maybe that was Andrew. Maybe it was Andrew. But the bridge going across. That's like its own really nice little set. You got the trees with the ladder going up. Got a little bit of that Rock Island Refuge vibe going.
There's a lot of food for thought there. There's loads of get a few of these base plates and a bunch of these parts, and you can start doing your full island. Well, pool table size kind of collection. Yeah, it's amazing. It was Andrew, by the way, that didn't like raising drawbridges. I remember
Okay. Joe Hardy says, I always thought it was funny that Lego box images would put the pistol in Ironhook's hook instead of his hand.
Yeah.
Always wondered how he could pull the trigger with a hook. That is a very valid point.
Unless he holds it with the hook and it was one of them flint ones where I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I like that too, though. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, let me see. So those are the official set lineup. I don't think I missed any.
No.
And then we even pulled in the treasure chest, the Pirates treasure chest, because it's at the very least Islanders adjacent, I would say. So.
Oh God, yeah, it's definitely there. It's either Pirates or Islanders, one of the two. And to be fair, it's all fair game. I always just saw it as another part of Pirates because all the Pirates are in it. So. But there's some cool brick stuff. There's some cool. I like the handle, the bar plate there in that top right with the two palm leaves revealing the hiding pirate. That's a nice little move. There's a few cool stuff. The system spreading out a little bit and doing some cool stuff. The little boat in the corner on the right hand side, nodding to some of the colours on the schooner: the red, the black, the green, the grey, and the sail. That's been cobbled together out of parts of the schooner later down the line. So
and there's this boat. All good stuff, dude. I love those takes, and also like this boat here that's built up on the back, and this boat here that's built up here with these bricks reminds me of the Lego Ideas book that has a built-up rowboat with like a brick-built sail and everything. So it's kind of fun to see it kind of reflected here a little bit.
No, for sure.
So that's that. I remember looking at this when I bought, because we bought the re-release. Me and my brother split it, $25 each, so $50 for this set in 2001, which is still seems really low even in 2001. But we split it for for our Christmas money or something. And I remember looking at all these images over and over again and getting like insanely inspired by even just this little boat out in the front here and like seeing all the different things. And then look at the map with the little fort drawn in the background. Like, it's so cool. Everything about it is very, very cool and charming. I just love it.
Yes, there's like almost looks like there's an islander paddling away on another canoe. It's definitely an island. I think it's an islander, but it kind of looks like a Viking as well.
He does, yeah. He's got little horns. It looks like a Viking. Because
he's stocky and thick looking. He doesn't look like as thin as an islander would be.
I will say I always wanted to look at the map without the images over it. I wanted to see what it looked like, because there's a fort, there's like a compass down here, there's obviously a rowboat. There's a couple of different land masses. Like, I was always curious what was behind there. And I'm sure Lego had the art at some point before they superimposed the images over the top. So I don't know, man. All right, so I did a classicpirates.com ran a big old Lego Pirates contest, and was it an Islanders specifically contest, or was it just Lego Pirates? I don't remember. I think it was
Islanders. It was Pirates. It was for Pirates.
But it was classic Pirates. It was
classic
specific
Pirates. Yeah,
classic Pirates. And so I submitted this. This was my submission for their contest. From sources, I was told that I came in 4th place in a 3rd placing. So like 1, 2, 3 were placement, and then 4th was you didn't place. But I was held for 3rd place against another guy for like a couple of weeks. I was tied with him, or not a couple of weeks, a couple of days. And then the other one beat this one out, and I didn't win the contest, or I didn't win 3rd place. So,
and none of them were as good as this.
I mean, I'll leave that to.
I know that's a take, but I'm just going to tell you the truth because we're all about the truth today, aren't we? This was the best one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mine. I think some criticism was leveled at it that I used, things that looked too much like the original sets. But like that's kind of the point, right? Like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The point is, I built this thing. It's the biggest Islanders thing that you could really comprehend. I put every ounce of Islander-ness into it that I could think of. I went overboard with, the rope bridges, the rock heads. I built an extra large, altar rock, totem guy up here above it. So this was this is the only Islanders build I built. I will be showing 2 other mocks that I've done that are a new faction of Islanders that I came up with, but this is the only Islanders specific build that I've done. So,
well, you gave them as if you couldn't beat the big base, which was good anyway. This is like, wow, this is on steroids. Again, I love the solution to the brick built totem head. Like what you've done here, there's a few new arch pieces and stuff available now, a little bit of snot on those ears to get that width and stuff. So that's all really nicely done. I mean, I could just go on all day about this. What I love about this is the meeting of the old classic tropes combined with some new ideas. Like you've got something that looks very similar to those old faces, and you got this kind of lava waterfall coming out of it down the side of the volcano, or the lava dripping down the side of that volcano.
Right.
And you've taken the kind of red arch with some palm leaves roof design to a whole next level as well, and and that echoes not just the Islanders but like the smuggler's shanty thing as well, which is really nice.
Thanks.
So, but the big sort of immediate striking thing is this diagonal bridge. Do you want to talk? I notice it's the wigwams support parts for the wigwams. Do you want to talk on that?
Sure. Yeah. So I used the wigwams because they were really, they're one piece first of all. So these are the wigwam posts. They just felt like they fit well with the rest of the wood and bridge color. They're in old brown. So it just made a really nice pillar to go up and kind of support the center of this bridge. Now, in theory, this bridge works. I haven't built it physically. It's connected very interestingly, and you can't even really see it, but there's Technic pins that hold this section, and then there's the hinged plates that create that, and then it's pinned on both sides, and then the center of it actually is just that support. It still offers support, but it's not pinned onto the base plate. There's a tile under there that it's sitting on.
Okay.
Right. So I moved a turntable around, like those little 2x2 turntables, and some jumper plates. I did that for an hour, trying to get one connection that wasn't creating a collision in the program, and I just decided, you know what? It's connected at the 2 ends, and it still supports it perfectly.
That might be one of those things that, when you try and build it in real life, it just a tiny wiggle and it goes in, but it might not. So
I mean, yes, it probably would, because these are flexible enough, right? So it could be barely offset, but in the program, it's all strict.
But like you say, the tile, it's pressure downwards. It's still going to do its job. Or we see that when people build into the smooth part of these decorated base plates and just leave something hanging down, or
totally.
Or on the celestial sled where it's just 2 round 1x1s down onto the skis and stuff. We see that a lot, don't we? So really, really, really comprehensive build here. This, just the time and effort and vision that it must have taken to put this together, is commendable. And so there's little bits that I really like. I really like this this. I know there's loads of action on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, where you've got the two different grass rock corner panels being used, I really like how it creeps up from the very outside. Then you've got an arch with some leaf overage, and then actually like a crossbow, but it's not a crossbow; it's a normal arrow on the side, which is more like what we have. So we've got some castle tropes, but they're really appropriate, and then that leads into the higher bit. Just that, and if you took this into 3, it'd still be like 3 really amazing big builds. So, this must look insane. Maybe I'll have to build
this one out of all the things I've designed digitally, this is up there as like maybe the one I want to build the most. Because look, you can tell the scale of it by the size of the minifigs on that raised bridge. Like that's a pretty comprehensively large build. Like I mean, look at the size of these little guys.
Look at the captain on the end of that bridge up there on
that's
the left.
What I'm saying.
Wow,
that kind of gives you an understanding of the scale. I mean, it's really huge. Tall. So I would love to feel, and that's the thing when you design in studio and then you build it in real life. Every time, there's a couple of things I did back here from studio that are now in like real life, and like every time I'm like, whoa, this is like actually kind of bigger than I thought. And it's like it's so exciting.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it? I know exactly the feeling you're talking about. It's a massive rush. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have the piece count on this. Sorry, I'll pull up some comments. Let's go real quick. I wish we could have made more themes.
What you said.
Yeah, it's several thousand. Let's see. Space Journey says, I wish we could have done more themes with loose takes on history and cultures. I agree. They've only done a couple, and they're fantastic. I like the stairs up to Kahuka's throne on that Enchanted Island alt build set. Oh, sorry, these are built back. Sorry, that would have been the Enchanted Island alt build. The map would have been great. Says Figs, Bricks and Figs collectibles. Yeah, dude, the map. We were talking about this one in the background would have been fun. Yeah. Dang, says Josh. Appreciate that. Thank you. Like the lava, we should have gotten more of that. Well, I have more of that coming, so we'll keep stay tuned.
The catamaran's great as well.
Well, we can talk about that in a little second too. Just Glatmock says I joined just in time for the huge mock. Nice, thank you.
Well
love the aesthetic. Massive. Yeah, it is huge. Bricks and Minifigs. Thank you. How many pieces? Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's pushing 3,000, but it might be over. It's big. Like there's a lot of big. I did use a ton of panels and burps. You can see all of those, right? It's very much in that, but like there's a lot of like little brick built panel, like brick built posts and like joining pieces and stuff in those. So like, yeah, it's a 64 by 64.
It's 32 by 32, and then 2 of the small Pirate Island base plates, 16 by 16, and then a 16 by 32 in between those 2. So it will be 32 plus 16, so it'll be 48 down one side and even longer because it's still landscape, isn't it, Jason? So it'll be 64 by.
This is a slide.
64 by 48 is what that is.
This is let's see if this loads. This is a slide I didn't actually include. See if it's. I think it'll load. Yeah.
The aerial view.
Here you go. Yeah, I originally didn't include this, but there you go. So okay, yep. It's 2 of the island plates, like you said. Yeah. So that's kind of the top. It bugs me that this is not 100% square to the image. You can see it's slightly angled, but anyway. Yeah.
So cool.
So that's the big one. This is the Islanders. Let me get there's a couple other shots of this one and then we'll keep moving. I know we're almost 2 hours in. Here, let's see. We got, of course, now I moved where I was pulling the images from. Hang on one second. We got Diagonal Bridge, says Glatmox. Thanks. Yeah, the Diagonal Bridge was super fun. We talked a little bit about that one. Here's one of the shots along the back here. So we can take a look at that one if it'll load. There we go. And yeah, the catamaran, like you said, this is a kind of a fun one. I know it looks really similar to the other one, but it's definitely. And here, look, I used the parrots as totems.
Yeah, but it's the same concept, but very differently executed. You've used those lovely wedge grill plates that I love so much, and they're always nice in black. I also just love the way that she kind of sits and handles those oars. It's quite charming.
Little ladders.
I know you love to make the minifigs hold the barrels. They're such a good pose position. I like the little islander in the very top of the grass hatch roof bit there, just sort of looking down where the crane system is, or where the bridge raising system is. That's nice there as well. Lava on the other side as well. It's so much attention to detail, and you've got a huge 16 brick awning for a huge portcullis grill piece under there with I presume there's Crocs or something.
It's a Croc storage. It's Croc storage.
So you got Croc stores in there.
Yeah. Well, and actually, there's a you can't really see it. Maybe I do have an image of it, but there's another Islanders totem stone head on the front of that cage that can slide, and you can escape the Croc pen from behind the stone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those inverted grey facets as well. Nice one. Yeah, that's a great part piece for there. Where then fire buckets, there's stone fire. That's great. I didn't even notice that first time around for some reason. I like how you've incorporated the clip-on feather plume parts from Western in red, and you've given different colors. That's a nice touch as well.
That was fun to do. Yeah, I decked out the spears. I may have even given them a couple of tomahawks. Or no, I think I gave one of the pirates a hatchet or something. But there's only a couple of pirates in this. There's 3 pirates. There's some treasure, and there's a ton of play features. That's the other thing. All these other contest entries had very little to no play features. Yeah. Mine had a crazy play features, dude.
And I think that was a bit of clicky set of people in that competition, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, Classic Pirates is kind of that way, and so is Euro Bricks, and so is Bricklink. So here's a closer of the catamaran. They are not connected. Crusader, does the rigging on your catamaran attach the top at the bottom? It attaches in the center and then lies against the edge of the canoes. Cool. And then we got the little spears on there. So these are the 2 little vehicles here.
Is this picture on your Instagram?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's in a carousel of 3 other pictures.
Yeah. I just I want to find it as well. I want to make these. So
yeah. It would be
I like I take it that's the octagonal bit with the studs on one of the sides from Aqua Sharks that's holding that 4x4 black plate on the pirate raft up.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
You've used the octagonal bricks.
Yes.
Is the middle one the one with the studs on the side from Aqua?
I believe it is. Does that come in black? Yeah. No, I would. I built this 3 years ago, but I believe it does have that one in the center. Yeah, it's either that one or because I don't think the ones on the edge would line up right. But the one in the center is what holds that little 4x4 plate on.
Cool.
So yeah, that's that. That's a close up of the catamaran. Let me run. Just give me 1 second to pull up the rest of these images because I was reformatting them for the show and then decided that I just pull them from the source file because they still upload. So
yeah,
whatever. It works fine. Here's this one. Here's the play features. These are a little hard to see. I'll let you guys kind of look over this. But this kind of shows you where they are. It's kind of a mess. I could have done a better representation of the play features, but it was hard to figure out how to do this. But there's so up at the top, I can just go over them. Some of them are pretty basic. The bridge knocks the people off just like in Enchanted Island, right? It's a spinning bridge. You've got the other bridge that's on a draw system, so it goes up and down, so you can access that other tower. You have the volcano area. You can drop hot lava down on the pirates when they try to steal the treasure underneath. And that's just a really simple play feature. You load up the top and pull the little trapdoor. Of course, there's trapdoors. There's 2 trapdoors. There's one in the main building here that drops you into the water. And there is one. You can sacrifice pirates below the big statue, and it drops you into the crocodile pit. And then here down... Yeah. And then here down below, you can see kind of the sliding totem burp that will let you escape the crocodile pit.
Can I ask you a question related to studio while we're on this, because it's super relevant now? I always want to take renders of this view of the brick, like the instruction manual view. And I know that you can get it when you go into instruction view, but is the only way to do it to pose the opening door, and then go into instruction mode and just take a screenshot of it, or can you actually render in this view?
I think that's what I did. I had to pose it and then take the screenshot. Yeah,
I see. I thought that was the only way. I just want to make sure.
So we'll take a look at the POV Ray, which is a similar version of this, but I like this better, and I wish they allowed renders in this.
It just reminds me of the instruction manuals back in the day. It's isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I liked doing it like this. And POV Ray isn't quite the same. POV Ray is like rendering in that. It's like rendering in like a Lego video game graphic.
Yeah.
Right, like from some of those old graphics from the video games. But this is like the instruction version, and you don't have to actually screenshot it. You can actually just export the page. So you can export 1/1 or whatever page this is, right?
Oh, perfect. I see. And then you get a better, right. That makes sense.
It's a nice high res image.
Yeah. So, well, I'll keep that in mind.
There is a secret dead pirate on a spinning pillar you can see down here that scares them. There's a little pathway of cobble, like stepping stone pathways through the swampy part in the middle of the build, and then this pirate can spin around and scare people. And then there's more. There actually are a couple other play features that aren't shown here. But they're minimal. It's like a little hatch or something that opens and there's like a little thing inside. Like both these totems.
These are the main ones you've showcased here, aren't they? These are proper like pull a pin or put. These are great. I love my favorite bit is the lava, the volcano section with the lava down the sides. Those 75 slopes coming up to a point. That's genius, man. I love it. It's so good. Yeah. Again, I want to build it.
I remember
this would be a bit of an effort.
A lot of palm.
I don't know if I've got enough islanders to fill this. I might have the pieces.
I do. I know I do. I just need the parts. I probably have most of the parts too.
I've got 6 islanders, and then I've got a couple of the the newer one that came out with the square mask.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of those CMFs. Yeah, I just chuck them in with them.
Yeah, the problem with this is like there's 4 wigwam poles, TP poles from natives, and then the Native Americans, and then there's 4 rope bridges. Now, if you haven't been hoarding rope bridges like some of us have, that could be kind of tricky. But
yeah, that is the tricky bit.
Yeah, that is the problem. Watching you all, everyone I design now, how many play features can I add?
Yeah, it's addictive. At first, you kind of because I can empathize with that. When I first started mocking, I was like, I'll think about the play features later. I just want to make something that looks beautiful. But then when you start leaning into the system style a little bit more, you start to realize, whoa, there's when you think about it, there's a million play features we never got based on the techniques they gave us. So it's free for all. Just jump in and have a go, and you'd be surprised. Then you just start putting them in, and then you get inventive with them. Then when you're confident with them, and that's when you produce really good work. So.
Totally, yeah. Those you can do so many things, even if it's just like a revolving wall or some sort of cool thing.
Look at this back view, man.
Here, let's see. I like the use of the portcullis. Besides the spear and crocodile cage, I thought the islanders should have more wood and bamboo bars. Yeah, and that's why I did this. And we can look here. Here's the crocodiles coming out of here. But so this is the other side. There's a little bridge. There's little steps. There's a skeleton hiding under there. Here's a conquistador skull. There's a little Easter egg back there. You see that? It's on
just inside the crocodile cage.
No, that's built in. That's
skeleton inside the rock. And I see it underneath the port. Yeah, there's a little grey hinge above it.
Yeah,
lovely stuff.
You got 3 crocodiles crawling around.
In fact, that is the first piece I can see that I haven't got in mass as well. The light grey finger hinge with 3-part finger hinge. I've got loads of those in grey. Probably only got about 6 of them.
Okay, yeah.
You probably use about 24 on this, don't you?
24 what?
I bet you probably use about 24 of those grey finger hinges on this building.
Oh, yeah. There's so many. Yeah, there's so many of those. There's so many skulls, too. Look, I used this little shrunken heads. Man.
Yeah, I see
did that.
You've almost
Also, I did. You see this little mask inside, looking through the window.
Oh yeah.
So that's like all intentional. Like you got the big thing. He's holding like a fire. Like he's got like a. I don't know if you can see it in one of these. Maybe you can see it here. Yeah. See, he's got like he's got like a fire thing. The mask is looking through an archway. And then that drum is like in front of it. It's total like ritual headhunter thing. Because if you put a pirate there, you totally drop it down into like, but like you have the mask looking through the window. It's like all creepy and like, it was totally done as like this little like kind of like ritual thing that they could be doing.
So, no, it's amazing, man. Loads of consideration gone into it.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. This one really, this is my love letter to Lego Islanders. Like 100%. Sure. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, we've gone on for almost 2 hours. Let me pull up a couple comments. We're going to pull in these last two that I did, and then we're going to get to yours, and then we're going to call it a day. This is just fantastic. Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. Very cool play features and the illustrations. Yeah, that's the little instruction book style illustrations are fun. Play features look great, and I need Lego to make an Armada helmet. Yeah, do they? I don't think that piece is gone now, huh? All right, so in the spirit of, doing Islanders, and, I'm a big fan of, like, expanding the worlds and really messing around with other things. And so it's like, what else could we have seen from Islanders if they did a wave 2 or something like that? So I came up with the Volcano Islanders. I made a kind of their own logo, and I did their own shields and color scheme and everything like that. And this is what I kind of came up with. And so the idea behind these guys was that they were located around more lava. And you can see even in this little throne one up in front here, there's like a little like transparent windscreen making like a lava flow out from behind it. This is like a function like I can't remember that little later pirate one with the skull that explodes, the skeleton flies out the top. What's that one called?
Volcano
Island?
No, that's Castle One, isn't it? I can't
Volcano
remember.
Island? It might be Volcano Island.
Possibly. I don't want to commit in case I'm wrong.
Yeah, but anyway, I used the same feature with the little spring hinge pin thing to make it fly. And so, but I wanted to make these guys look different, so I give them different, I give them different weapons. They have the little obsidian gloves with blue feathers on them.
Yeah. The catamaran on this one is totally original, like really nice solution to the catamaran.
Thanks. Yeah. And then I used a modern city piece for the females with the zebra skin like shirts, and I think that worked out pretty nice. So it's a little bit of neo-classic. There's some modern parts, but like it's still, I believe these are both built in old dark gray and old light gray and stuff like that.
Do you know what? I think I've got a couple of spare Islanders leg pieces that don't have torsos on. I might see if I can grab a couple of them zebras and steal your idea, but I bet maybe they're rare as well, aren't they? Great artwork, by the way. Your custom art, that even in the corner of the actual picture here, where it gives you the faction with a little sort of volcano picture, and then you still got that kind of zigzag and dot. So you still got your tribal pattern there. But there's some. I mean, these are really system era inspired and really system era coherent. And then when you look a little bit closer, there's some really interesting stuff going on. Again, those rare corner facet slopes that made the boulder on the western set we looked at a few weeks ago. You can see those coming into play on this bigger one on the left here, just above that lady and said zebra tool. So that's a lovely move. Just little bits like that to round off the rock and stuff. And the fact that you've brought in the Royal Knights angled long angle window panel. That's a nice touch with that crenellation on there. Swapping out the red panels for blue to give these their own identity, then bringing that lovely lattice fence piece that you love in so much. They're sneaking him in. Yeah, you've done a great job. It's unmistakably you, but it also serves the custom faction really well. So yeah, I think you've really done a good job here.
Appreciate that, man. I kind of pushed him a little towards the end of the Pirates theme with the Armada as being their, I guess, antagonists in here, and I changed out the alligators to gray because they're ash gators, because these are the Volcano Islanders. So I pulled in, I tried to pull in some lore. They got like the stone head on their shield instead of the other one, the Kahuka one or whatever. So
It was really good. No, the shield sounds really good as well. What I like about this is that it's the way that you've, again, just a very discreet little technique, but I'm going to shine a light on it because I love little things like this that you do. The beloved 5 stud diagonal roof piece with the inverted 1x2s on top, and then a plate on top of that to cater for the fact that the palm tree comes down. There's those 2 other anti-studs on the bottom of the palm tree, so that can fully lock in there nicely, and it gives it a nice sort of something a bit different. Again, when you're going back and doing these retro classic style mocks, you're digging for something that we didn't get, aren't you? And so I always love to see what you come up with that looks really indicative of the time, but we didn't actually get that. You something new, but it looks like it would have come from them, like that trans neon visor that I use for Ice Planet all the time. But it looks just like lava trickling down a slope. Little bits like that are nice to see.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Good job with varying your techniques and color palette to really create this and make them, whilst they're unmistakably Islanders, it's your own stamp on it. So good job.
Totally. Yeah. I wanted the blue and black really spoke to me, and so it's like, let's make these guys. So they have a little bit more architecture. Maybe they're a little more civilized. They got some crenellations and they got some stone walls built on some of these rocks, but like they still, very much,
They still shrink heads.
They're still they got all the armada. They got all the armadas up on posts here with their little feathers.
Right.
They're decorating their little areas with skulls of armada.
You're paddling around the corner of the creek and you just see that with your mate's head on a stick. When they like, I'm just going to row back this way. Nothing to see here.
So that's it. That's these guys. I'll pull a couple comments and then I have one more slide showing some of the play features on the bigger one here. And then
please.
We'll jump out of this. But the faction looks great. Thank you, Chris Jones. Appreciate that. I dig. Says Josh. Too bad there could never have been a classic Johnny Quest Lego line. That would cause endless outrage these days, though. Is that like Tintin kind of? I don't know what Johnny Quest. I'm not sure if
I don't remember Johnny Quest.
I'll have to look it up. Love the custom theme. The lava burst in the volcano logo you made looks like he has orange hair. Yeah, I know. I kind of am okay with that. It's either one or the other. Like you could take it how
we'll come back to that in a minute when I pull my mock up.
It kind of looks like a little Baker from the Muppets in a good way. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Didn't know if you saw they're making a new tiny boulders and lava for the roller coaster for power miners. I think those would work well in this. I saw that they did it in dark tan for some of the construction sets. I didn't realize they're doing like transparent ones and lava ones. That's cool. I love that. Blue with the grays works really well. Thanks, Josh.
The blue dragon plumes, I think C Sprint's saying the little dragon plumes on the top of the hat is a good move as well.
Crusader points this out, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at. I was just not using the correct wording. You've really blended Pacific and Mesoamerican vibes with the volcanoes and the what is this? Manchuish?
Macahootlas.
You're more educated than I am, Crusader.
Macahootlas.
I like it though. Yeah, that is the vibe I was going for, was towards that more. So disgusting. I gotta read these before I pull them up here. They're out there. Dude, awesome faction, blue dragon master plumes, nice touch. Yeah, thanks. And then C Sprint says the blue dragon plumes look dapper on the guy with the obsidian sword too. Yeah. Totally. I appreciate that. I did like how they clip in there and kind of add a new Islanders plume.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's
all right, cool. Here's the quick last slide of my stuff, and then we'll pull in yours here. There's some people kept asking for like, shots from behind the builds and like play features. I would post these things, and I'd get lazy and not show any of the play features, and people would always like message and be like, "Hey, show the play features." So I started trying to do more slides, and this is the POV ray render. It's not quite as charming as the instruction book but it does.
It's cool
really
though.
Quick. It's cool. It's a little
Its own
different.
charm. Different charm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not too much going on. There's an exploding volcano. There's a little idol you can pull out from below the volcano, and they can carry it around. Hidden treasure maps underneath the palm trees. The volcano opens with this little hatch in the front. There's a trapdoor that drops you down. Stuff, pretty basic stuff, nothing crazy. But there you go. That's that.
Beautiful, really good.
Yeah. And I think let me pull. Yeah, that's it from me. So if you want to upload yours, let me move a couple of these out of the way
very quickly.
And then we can kind of wrap it up for a nice,
sure.
long 2-hour discussion. So people who watch this back, you're welcome. I know when I have a YouTuber or somebody I'm watching and I enjoy, like I see that they've posted a new video and it's like, well, it's 2 hours. Like I'm excited. So hopefully it's not a bore and you actually enjoy it. I also maybe want to timestamp where we start talking about Islanders.
Yeah.
So that people can like skip to that if they don't want to sit through.
Well, actually, I've got a little bit of a something just to really finish us off and tie the two things together. Actually, just to bring us to a nice end, allegedly. And this is I call this piece the roast of Mr. McNaff, or I might call it CEO sacrifice. I'm not sure yet. I'll leave it up to your imaginations. But this is just a little something I knocked up this week, just to show my appreciation for the Islanders. We've got a certain alleged liar on the fire, and we've got a nice new take on the throne. King Kahuna there just waving in the face the limbs of whoever he's just eaten, which may or may not have been.
Is that a coconut he's got?
He's got coconut in the other hand because that's his drink. He's having a drink.
Oh,
food. It's the roast, isn't he? He's enjoying. They've got a sentry there on a little side building in the tower. There's actually spiders.
The roast means, there's two meanings for roast, and honestly, this guy has been roasted in a way online. So
yeah,
this is just.
I did actually pick out like a nice mustache.
I see. You got the hair. You got a nice little a nice little post out here too. It's a fun little outpost that the archer's sitting up on.
Yeah, I made that and then realized it was getting in the way. It was all going to be on the one plate, and then it was getting in the way of seeing the roast properly. So, but hopefully, Josh, this will be the GWP with the new Creator 3-in-1.
There you go, GWP. I would be excited if this was the GWP for the creatorship. I've seen some people posting about that. Actually, real quick segue, or not segue, but it's a side note. The ship is pretty small. It's pretty skinny. Like they made it like compared to the other creator one, it's quite downscaled. Like it's a pretty skinny little guy. So it's just an interesting. I still think it looks good, and I actually don't mind that it's a slightly smaller ship because then it really does add its unique. Like it's a different ship. It's not a remake of the old one. It's like scale in different ships. I think that's good. We need more scale. We need big ones and small ones, and we can add them all into harbors and things. So yeah, I'm good with.
It's good. It's all good stuff.
Anyway, this is fun. This is crazy. It reminds me of Tigera's roar from Johnny Thunder. A little bit of that, like just the position.
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly the one you mean. The Oriental one.
Yeah. Where he runs along the little platform. It just has that kind of shape. It's got that.
For sure. I just wanted to do a different I always loved the King Kahuna set, just the little throne, and I wanted to sort of develop that a little bit.
This is fun.
I didn't want to think too much about it. I didn't want to make anything too grandiose, really system style. But I just wanted to obviously just have my own nod to the scenario.
Well, and you can replace the alleged corporate with
a pirate,
imperial or a pirate guy. Or a blue islander or the volcano islander. If those guys are at odds with each other, who knows?
Yeah, he could totally still make it an island set. I just thought I'd whack McNaff on here just because,
there you go. Because it's relevant.
It's allegedly someone called McNaff. I just pulled that name out of the ether. I've never heard that name before.
Yeah, we don't know. We
just a random name I made up.
It didn't happen. That never happened.
That never happened. The sky is not blue.
Well, we'll see. This live stream may have never happened. We'll see if it gets striked. The first strike of the channel. Yeah, we'll see.
Everything we said all the way through, allegedly.
Yeah, it's all for entertainment purposes only. Any what they say? Any resemblance to characters real, living, or dead are only
purely
coincidental. It's all That's the disclaimer. Yeah. We'll timestamp. We'll timestamp the beginning. The first part. We'll literally. Okay. All right. There you go. Josh likes it. It's a fun idea. I like it. I like the use. I think we're both leaning into the parrots as very usable for totems in some of the architecture of these guys. I like the use of the Native American feathers on the spears. I did the primary colors, but this works very well as well. I think.
I just wanted to do something a bit different because I didn't want to completely nick your idea. I just wanted to nick your idea.
It's all good, man. All good. And that's it.
Thanks, everyone. I've enjoyed that. That was good fun, but I'm going to get to do some bits and bobs and get ready for next week's show and hopefully get a bit more time to do some mocking this week. I've had a week off. I've basically touched no Lego. I've just I've had a really chilled one with the family. It needed doing. But the big holiday is coming, so Lego time is upon us.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you guys were able to join us. Drop a comment. I mean, you're welcome to talk about the BAM situation in the comments. So if you guys watch this back and want to drop your 2 cents, blow it up, do what you want. I mean, I'm happy to kind of talk about some of this. You guys, I mean, I've talked to some people. You can message me on Instagram, if you want to get into it more. I appreciate all the different takes. There's some good ones out there. And so it was fun to really jump into that. I felt like we needed to say something. Like it's the biggest Lego story of our time.
Crazy.
Like you can't not just pretend it didn't, or you can't just pretend it didn't happen. So we're not like the corporate guys who pretend it never happened. So we'll address it. But maybe someone I may even just drop a comment with a timestamp in it to say if you want to just watch Islanders, it's at X amount. So we'll see. But we'll see you guys next time. Drop a like, share, subscribe. Thank you, everybody. We're past 740. I think we've already gone up, so we're just keep growing. So thank you for joining the channel. Yeah, and we're moving on. So,
thanks for having me on again, Jason. I've really enjoyed the talk.
Almost called you Andrew there. Got the old.
I can't. I can't fill that guy's shoes. That guy's a legend. But thank you for that. It's been amazing. It's been really good to talk about. It's been really nice to have like a measured discussion and be quite frank. Actually, that's quite nice. So thank you everyone in the chat for getting involved. You've been blowing that up all the way through, and that is most appreciated. And got to say the highlight is definitely tonight was definitely the huge Islanders mock you made for that competition. Really nice to look at that again in nice high res. So thank you for that, Jason.
For sure. That was fun. Yeah. All right, man. We'll keep in touch. Have a good one, and we'll try to jump back on here next week.
For sure. Nice one, everyone. See you next week.